Hey, Master D here. I wanted to let you know that my major in college was economics, and I want to kind of do a little video on how theory of economics can kind of apply to martial arts. Okay, funny kind of putting those two subjects together, but here's a few things. First of all, number one, if you're training in martial arts, you're going to be healthier. You're going to, have better control of your blood pressure if you're an adult, or, handle stress better, just by training and exercising, setting goals, things like that. You're just going to be healthier and more fit. So it can keep those medical bills down and those prescriptions down, which is an important thing. Because in our country, our medical system right now is run by the American Medical Association, who do a good job, but they're a monopoly. So with a monopoly, you don't have much price choice, other than maybe paying cash. If you go into your doctors and you pay cash, you'll pay practically half of what it costs. So there's a lot of things wrong with our system. Now, I don't want the government to run it because government's another monopoly. So a monopoly running monopoly is not good for service. So it might be free, but you're on a 6-month waiting list, or you're too old for that operation, or this, and you'll get rejected a lot. So, the best thing is to privatize it. But best thing is to be healthy in the first place. So is to work out and train and get healthier. So that's one way in the theory of economics that martial arts. Another one is if somebody earns something, they value it. We know this in economics because people treat private property better than they do public property. A lot of times you'll see public property, public housing, graffiti, subways, graffiti. Like I grew up in Boston, you'll see things like that. People will throw bottles out of their window on the highway, or they'll throw trash out on the highway. And their thought is, well, it's my land. I don't have to clean it up. So they just psychologically don't treat public property as well as someone private property. But boy, you litter in my yard, that's a whole different animal than you litter, on the highway or something. So people are very protective of their private property, treat it so much better because it, it might appreciate in value and all that. So there's a big difference. So all that to say is that when you work for something, when you labor for something like your belt, then you really appreciate it. So blood, sweat, tears, everything you've paid to do class and this and that, and you had to sacrifice 2-3 nights a week to come to class, then you really value that belt. That black belt means something. That college degree you worked for means something. That stint in the military you did meant something. That, those tournaments you competed in meant something. You had to work, you had to train. And if I just give you it, here's a black belt, here's a red belt, you don't value it, huh? Okay, yeah. Another good example is that for school owners, we know the people that pay the higher prices or go in the leadership classes or this and that are much better students than ones who can't afford it or don't, or we scholarship or this and that. Not in every case. There's a few people, poorer people that are hungry and that will try hard, but majority of the time, that person will quit on you as things get tough, or if one thing comes up, and they just don't call you, or they just don't, so very annoying. But the person that has skin in the game, that's really invested, that's paid, the higher price or the dues, you might say, well, yeah, because that's you treat them better. Not really. Not, maybe a little, but not much. But they tend to be better students. Your retention rate is actually better if you charge higher prices. Now, you may price out other enrollments. True. That may happen. So, but they're a better quality student. So a lot of the theory behind economics is history, psychology. See, just something like that, how people treat something that's not theirs. They just take for granted. Philosophy. Adam Smith was a philosopher. one of the big founders in economics, that if you take a class, you'll hear about Adam Smith. Okay. So it's history, geography, business, mathematics, everything. Economics has all those disciplines in it. It's like a buffet table. That's why I love it so much. It's not just bow tie bankers. It's, all kinds of theory and this and that you can learn, that can put together. So I wish we'd teach more of it, and especially at a younger age. But I always look at doing martial arts, and I talk like this, as an investment. You're investing in yourself. Benjamin Franklin once said, you take out coins and pennies for your education and investment in yourself, and it comes back in dollars. So it's really true. So I want you to think of it as a school owner too, or as a student, that you're investing. When you're making yourself better by training in martial arts, that isn't just another bill, another monthly payment. It's an investment, and that should pay off. Think about it. Your child starts at 6 or 7. They get up to second or third degree. They're 14 or 15. They're helping out in class. Pretty soon they're earning money. They're teaching. They'll go off to college or military and have a good career. Eventually they'll pay you back. They'll probably out-earn you when they're older. I can't guarantee it, but I've seen it a lot. So, my son out-earns me. So, he's a black belt. So, so think of it and approach it as an investment. So these are some of the things that, economics have to do with martial arts and the study of it. So since that was my major, I just wanted to kind of pass that along. Hope this has helped. And we will see you on the next video.